web. This is your boy Q the Geek, back with something new actually. I decided, you know what? One of my favorite shows is Game of Thrones. Let's jump in and talk about it. Now, before we go any further, the first thing you should know that there's going to be spoilers, and if you see the title or the headline, that means we're going to talk about spoilers not only for what might come in season 7 and 8, but also what happened before. So first off, let's just jump right into the meat and potatoes of the story, when we catch Walter Frey basically giving his family, the people who did the Red Wedding and almost took the Starks out. The King of the North, Robb Stark, took him out of the game way back in season, was that 3 or season 4? And he's acting a little unfamiliar, but then again, he's acting a little familiar, and his family really can't tell. They're wondering why he's giving them extra, wine and an extra celebration. And then we see where he's not being Walter Frey, when he tells his wife and the other little girls, the little maidens and stuff there, not to drink from the wine. And it was a perfect ending to her own version of the Red Wedding, i.e. with red wine and the Red Wedding, where she poisoned pretty much everybody, but was smart enough to leave the wife and the maidens and tell her the North remembers, and basically, look, we're the Starks and we run this shit. Right after we jumped from the Walter Frey, it was right into the heart of things with the politics of what's going on with the Wall and what's going on between Jon Snow and what's going on with Sansa. Now, I have a love-hate situation for Sansa, and I do love the fact that her and Jon have reunited even though they didn't like each other, because at first Sansa was a bit, I wasn't really a big Sansa fan, and then how she started getting treated by Joffrey, I started kind of reverting some of my feelings, but she still had this uppity stuff that I didn't like. And then after her whole thing with Ramsay Bolton, I felt really bad, and then I was ready for her to get her retribution and her revenge during the Battle of the Bastards. And because of her assistance with Littlefinger, aka Lord Baelish, with the Battle of the Bastards, that's why she feels that she has a lot of things to say and bring to the table as far as being, well, is she gonna be the Queen of the North? But as far as being, well, pretty much like the Queen of the North, that she feels like she has some kind of input or bigger input than what she might really have. Even during the conversation, she did have more than a few valid points about the fact and about what was going on within the war, that Jon is so focused on, the Night King and the Wall, that he forgot all about Cersei and what's going on in the South in King's Landing. But like Jon keeps stressing and saying, look, basically everybody elected me the King of the North. I got resurrected from the dead. Look, I'm out here on the battle lines, on the front lines, and I'm seeing what death is. And it's not Cersei. Her blowing up the keep, the Red Keep, that is not world impending stuff, because she can't even get to us. They're thousands of miles away and they can't fight winter. But these people are made from the winter and dead folks. We didn't really get a whole bunch of Bran on this episode, but it looks like we're going to get a lot more on the next episode. We also didn't get as much Tyrion as I like, but we did, of course. I'm not going to do like the show did and wait all the way to the end to talk about Dany. We actually got a chance to see Daenerys go back to where she was born, and I really enjoyed the fact that how she touched the ground and the soil and stuff. And I don't know if it was just me, but when she first initially touched the ground, it looked like it was like a little blue sparkle or something. I really did like the aesthetics and how the landscape and how the whole field and everything was in this particular episode. And it was only fitting how the dragons came and they flew, and they almost like they knew this was their homes. I also like the fact that they had that damn map. How Cersei made this map. I wish that I could have that on a floor or a room
or something and have that. Like, that's the perfect battle strategy. You just stand over a person's or a continent or a country, and you'll be able to see and dictate exactly what's going on. I also like the fact how it was depicted with Euron Greyjoy and his exchange with Cersei, because they emphasize more than a few times how the similarities that they had with each other, and his taking shots at Jamie with talking about the whole one hand situation, and basically he's gonna figure his sister out as soon as he get a chance, because that's what his plan was to do with Daenerys. But his niece and his nephew basically got to Daenerys first. I liked the dynamic between Jamie again and Cersei, and I'm really interested to see how they're going to be in the future, because he's looking at her now as in, you've lost it. He's actually trying to talk about the kids, and she's like, you know what? I can't even mess with that no more. I'm on a whole new page, and I'm trying to rule the world. We got Emmy to the west, to the south, to the east, to the north, and she has no idea about the White Walkers. Because still, the White Walkers, unless you're Jon Snow and the Wildlings, um, then you don't know what the hell is really going on. And speaking of the wildlings, I do like that Tormund and the rest of the wildlings are going to be the ones who head up the wall, because if they got any other land within the north, people were going to be mad and they were going to resent Jon Snow, and he just got anointed to being the king of the north. So that's a whole other thing. And as we've seen a little bit in the previews, Lord Baelish, you know, he might be on borrowed time. So I'm interested how they're going to do that. Is this going to be one of Arya's doings? Is she going to like teleport again from one place to the other? Because you see that she was going towards King's Landing, and she's already with these 7 dudes out there looking to see if she's looking at their weapons and looking at stuff, like she's about to take them out the game. And that's very remnants of what the Hound told her. I'm also really like the emphasis of the Hound and how he had this atonement for a lot of the things that he had done, and that family. And if I was not mistaken, that was the family with him and Arya, like on a few seasons back, where he took their money and Arya was so upset with him, and basically the dad and the daughter, the dad had to kill the daughter. I thought that was a good form of atonement, and I thought that by him actually finally looking into the flames and seeing the White Walkers in the flames was going to make him realize that he does have a higher purpose, and that even though all this stuff has happened, that him and the rest of the people in the Brotherhood are basically going to be the ones to sacrifice themselves to resurrect Jon. And I do feel that Jon probably will die again. I was also interested to see that there was no Melisandre sightings. However, Samwell had a big portion in this particular episode, and I was very glad, because you don't see Samwell a lot, and I really feel that Samwell's influence within the series, especially trying to be a Meister, is really going to be beneficial, especially probably not, even if not in this season, a little bit probably in the end of this season, but mainly in next season, because as we just seen, after he was doing all his remedial tasks, well, serving Boo Boo, and that's what it looked like, and changing bedpans and everything. Really feel that Samwell it's going to be more prominent in season 8, or probably the end of season 7, mainly because of a lot of the discoveries and stuff that he just made by getting this forbidden knowledge, by going and sneaking or stealing some of the books, and he's being able to see that it's a whole mountain that's made of dragon glass. But this has been your boy Q, your friendly neighborhood geek, with some of this Game of Thrones topics of discussion. I think I'm gonna start doing a Game of Thrones edition here, because Game of Thrones is one of my favorite all-time series. It's just such an amazing thing. But if you did like this video, please make sure you hit that like button, and make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay up to date, not only on Game of Thrones, but also on all things video games, anime, and just all things geek. And until next time, peace!